Peugeot's latest 3008 and 5008 are standout designs in an era of Me Too SUVs. So it's fantastic news that the design philosophy that created them has been carried across to the new 508 Saloon. The new 508 will launch with petrol and diesel engines, and a plug-in hybrid is due to join later. Inside it has Peugeot's still futuristic i-cockpit design with its tiny steering wheel, large digital instrument display and 8-inch touchscreen for the infotainment. Other features include massaging seats. The new 508 will rival cars such as the Ford Mondeo and the pricier Volkswagen Arteon when it goes on sale in September, priced from around £26,000. We've invited some readers to see the new car ahead of time. Let's see what they think. Okay, so why are you interested in the new 508?
I'm looking for a bigger car for when my lease renews. I'm looking for something that's a bit sporty looking, a bit dynamic, looking for something that's got a bit of character. This definitely has it.
The 508 is obviously way more stylish than the current generation. It's following Peugeot's new design language, and it appeals because it's it's a bigger car than obviously what I'm used to.
Okay, so I'll come with my partner. He drives a 508 2015 plate, and we're coming on to the new one today.
Okay, so you're a fan of the new look for Peugeot?
Yeah, it's I think since 3008 came out, it's just completely different to like the 108, things like that. They've gone in a really different direction. I think they found sort of like their French flair again.
I think it looks great. I think really good. It's I like the pillarless doors and sort of better looking and more practical being a hatchback. So win-win. Love it.
It's blade-like. It's sharp. It's dynamic. It's got lines in every spot. It should have lines. It's not dull at all.
So the fact that this one is smaller and it's more sleek as well, the shape of it is eye-catching.
So this lives up to your expectations then?
And it's got the good engines. It's got the engines that I want. It doesn't have something that's going to be heavy on fuel. It's got going to be something that's going to be high on tax.
Okay. So which engine would you be going for, the petrol or the diesel?
1.6 petrol automatic.
Would you be going for a diesel if you were to get a new car?
Yes, I think I would, yeah.
Okay, and you're impressed with the engines they're going to be offering in this model?
Yeah, they're all powerful with very good MPG, low tax, everything, so it kind of ticks everything a high mileage driver needs.
And inside the car, what are your thoughts on the i-cockpit layout?
It'll take a bit of getting used to, but that's the same as any car. As soon as you're used to it, it's going to be great. It's got everything that you need. It's clean, it's uncluttered. It's got all the shortcuts whenever you want them. You can change everything to how you want it to be.
I think it's mainly because a lot of people don't get that you have to have the steering wheel lower. Obviously, the steering wheel is way smaller than it is in the RCZ, for example, or older generation Peugeots. But as long as you have it low enough so you can see the top of the dials. But I don't see that it's an issue. It's just I think people have it at a certain height and then can't see the dials and then complain, the steering wheel is completely wrong. But I think you just have to get used to it, to be fair.
I have driven a couple of the other models with it, spent a couple of days with a 308, and to start with, it kind of feels weird. Once you've got used to it, you don't even think anything of it, it just feels natural. You just get your seat where you want it, move the wheel so you can see the dials, and then it's just fine, yeah.
You sit down and you're not overloaded by all these buttons and everything everywhere. You've got your screen and you've got your keypad and it's all just there for you. Some cars you sit down next to and you've got all these buttons.
What do you think of the wood trims and the you can have this in carbon as well, and the red leather? Are these the sort of things that stand out to you?
Yeah, all the wooden stuff's it's nice. I mean, wood in cars tends to be a bit hit and miss, but I think as long as it's kept light like that and sort of quite bare, it's it's smart. I mean, it lightens the interior. I don't know how it would look if it was sort of all dark carbon, especially with the dark red in this.
I think that's something that's come on quite a long way, even from mine that's only 3 years old. The leather is really high quality leather in there, and the materials, you can tell they've sort of pushed for that high quality feel, definitely.
And as for the driving position, seats, headroom, I mean...
Headroom in the back, obviously someone that is tall as me.
How tall are you?
I'm 6'2".
6'2", okay.
Yeah, I'm 6'2". Headroom in the back isn't great, but as with the sliding glass roof, that's to be expected.
So that's not something that bothers you particularly?
No, because I'm going to be sat in the front. Inside, the driving position was fine. It's nice, it's nice seat, it's nice position, it's comfortable, it's not hard. and actually it's quite relaxing when you press all the buttons and get it doing what it should be doing.
I think it's a good balance, like fit for purpose. I mean, you wouldn't want to do track days in it or something. It has to be kind of drive quite well, but also be comfortable. And well, with my 508, that's what I find, that it's, you know, it does stick to the road well, but it is comfortable as well. It's like a good balance.
Are there any other things particularly about the car that you either like or dislike?
I think the styling's great, so that's a big plus point. Over the existing one, yeah, it's just so much sleeker. It's more along the lines of like the Arteon, things like that. So yeah, mainly that. I mean, interior quality is all really good as well. The only probably downside is the rear headroom is a bit squashed.
I like all the automated features, like the automatic lights, the wipers, I like the roof, I like the fact it's got so much technology on it. I like the fact that it's a vast departure from Peugeots of old, which used to be sort of very old, very boring, targeted towards older people. This is definitely targeted towards someone my age, in their late 20s.
The only negative thing I would say, just from comparison with other ones, is that it has got a good sized boot, but when I go for a car, I do see if it has got a really like a nice big boot in it, but I think that it's just smaller than like other ones.
And if you were to give it a star rating out of 5, no halves, what would you say?
To be honest, I would say 5. It's fit for purpose. It's just, I'm not sure how it would be improved that drastically.
Oh, 5-star, definitely.
5 stars?
Yeah, without a doubt.
So there's nothing that you would consider needs improving?
To me, this competes against likes of Mercedes and BMW. Okay. This would be my car.
Probably on interior quality, looks alone, and yeah, the tech that this one has is probably 4, I'd say.
Okay.
So yeah, I think so.
What could gain it the extra star?
We need to wait to see what sort of performance variants are coming out. That's always a big plus. I mean, I know they've got the 225 engine in here, but yeah, something that's a bit sportier and to see how it handles really. I mean, I know we need to wait for that, but yeah, until I've sort of experienced that, yeah, it's difficult to give it 5.
Yeah, I would go ahead and I would give it the 5. I really do. I like this car.
So a really positive reaction from our readers there for the new 508 with 4 and 5-star ratings all round. You can check back to whatcar.com for more updates on this car and many others. And if you're in the market to buy a new car, you could save thousands at What Car New Car Buying.